Jupiter. Let's see. All right.
It's like, all right. We're hitting on. Let's do the thing.
Turn the rate down here.
So, we are live.
Are we live?
Everywhere.
We're doing a
late night thing for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're doing another test over here on Jupiter. We're going to look at Jupiter for a few minutes until it goes into the tree, and then we're going to look at Saturn and see what that looks like. And, you know, we're just doing a little testaroo here. We're getting emails. Dang, dang. Oh, yeah. We're live on the channel. Cool. Yeah, so we're just messing around looking at Jupiter. You can see all 4 moons tonight, which is cool. Definitely see that there's, you know, the big elongated moon down and to the left. That's actually 2. And if I can play with the focus a little bit here, you might actually see that. Yeah, see how it basically becomes two dots.
I was like, what did you just say? And you were saying, if I can.
Yeah, if I can, if I can get a focus, yeah. If it is possible to get a focus. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at Jupiter on my Sky Safari app. Oh man, too bad we can't see the surface. The great red spot is out right now, which is very cool. But that the moons, the 2 at the bottom left on top of each other, that's Europa and Callisto. And then we've got Ganymede, which is just up and to the right of Jupiter. And then Io is all the way up and to the right. All 4 moons. Which is cool. And let me get it recentered here. And I'll show you guys, and just for my own reference later to look back on, you know, because we're using some new apps here. This is what happens when you zoom most of the way in. Let's just see. So if I could get that to white balance out, we would probably see some surface detail, or cloud top detail, I guess I should say.
Right.
We all know Jupiter has no surface. Let me see if I can.
That's still awesome. I mean, I know it's not the best view in the world, and I know we're trying to figure out the white balance on this stuff, but
Yeah.
that's. I mean, look at that. Like right above that, you move it up just. I mean, I know you're like super, but you're seeing the moons.
Yeah.
And so, what order are we in now? So we would be.
Well, if I zoom back out here a second, we've got the 2 down and to the left. You can see that there are actually 2 moons there. It looks like one elongated moon, but that's actually Europa and Callisto. So Europa's on top and Callisto's sort of on bottom there. And then...
So I see the one that's like right... Oh man, they're right on top of each other.
Yeah, let's go down there and zoom in directly on that and see what happens.
Yes.
Because we might as well. We're out having fun, testing some stuff. You know, so... Okay, let's put it right in the middle. Oop, wrong way. It's definitely elongated. Now, if I can zoom in and...
You know what it looks like? It looks like Akaroth or Arakoth.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it looks like the one at what used to be Ultima Thule.
Oh, yeah.
It looks of both of them on top of each other like that.
Yeah, that's funny. So that's 2 moons of Jupiter right there. Europa, again, is on top, and Callisto is on bottom. It's according to Sky Safari Pro. And then we can actually pan over, you know, you'll see Jupiter go past us as we go this way. Well, there we go. And then that moon right there is Ganymede. See if I can get a better focus here. y'all, the Jupiter is really low on the horizon too. So, you know, that may be part of our issue while we're not being able to get a white balance. It may be because of how low it is. So, you know, and as the summer goes on, we'll be able to get these planets a little bit better. So,
and let's discuss the fact that we are currently seeing something that Galileo changed the world with, and I would guarantee it didn't have this kind of view.
Yeah.
This kind of live, like you're seeing something that changed everything that we know, and will continue to know forever.
Yeah.
Changed the whole game.
Yeah, Galileo really made waves with his observations. And then this is Io, all the way out by its lonesome out here. And Io, you know, typically I'm used to Io being sort of one of the inner, of course this changes, but I'm usually used to seeing Io about where Ganymede is here. Well, if I can let's zoom out for a second here, because the atmosphere is pretty disturbed over that way. So I'm looking directly over the Gulf of Mexico toward Jupiter right here. This is like right out over the Gulf. So there's probably some dirty air out that way. And again, it's low.
A quick shot of that. Zoom in just a little bit.
Okay,
that was actually pretty awesome.
Right there?
Yeah, zoom in. Let's see here. Let me go to Facebook real quick. Let me grab the shot we got going on right now.
There may be a raccoon trying to come after me out here. I just heard what I thought was maybe snarling. So I'm kind of watching my 6 at the moment. Very cool.
And what we need to do is record this. Like, if we could record this.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I wonder if that's like
the more you watch, the more you can see. I mean, we're already recording it, so we're going to be able to fast forward through this.
Right.
And the longer that we go, you're going to be able to see it move. Actually, you can see them separating.
Yeah.
Left already.
Yeah, I think Europa is going to be going towards Jupiter, and Callisto is going to be going away. I can actually look at the software and tell you that exactly. But yeah, you know, the Great Red Spot is up right now, which is awesome. I wish I could show that.
Also, a quick shout out. We got one of the best TikTokers that is like doing amazing stuff. Jupiter's watching right now too. She's on TikTok as well. I think hers is more like dancing, having some fun, goofing off a little bit. But this is great, man. Like this is a live view of Jupiter.
Live view.
Telescope. Actually, the longer this goes, you see like the light coming back in on Jupiter. It's not as bright as it was earlier.
Yeah, I think it. Well, and also, well, no, it's not behind the tree yet, so we're still good with that. There are some clouds, but there's nothing over by Jupiter. Honestly, a good puffy cloud is what we need right now to help knock the brightness down, and we may be able to catch some surface detail. Well, who's a TikToker in here, Ron?
It's Jupiter. Jupiter's awesome. Well, she wasn't here, but she's I tagged her in the interview I did with Neil. She's a big Neil fan. She's like, "You know Neil?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know Neil." It's not a brag thing. I'm just
yeah, just you know. So, her name is Jupiter.
Yeah, it's Jupiter Jones is her name, and she's incredible.
Okay, cool.
Great at social media, does incredible things, man. Puts a lot out there, and she's so many people assume so many things about our new generation, and she's on TikTok having fun and dancing and just being who she is, and she's just an incredible science communicator. She's going to school for something I can't wait to go to school for.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing.
That's what we need, though. The next generation of people to do what we're doing here, and maybe cooler things, even probably. So what it looks like from the simulation software that I have, it looks like Callisto, which is I think the bottom one, is going to be moving towards Jupiter while Europa kind of stays where it is, kind of. So Callisto is on one of its, I guess, inward tracks toward Jupiter, while maybe Europa is on the outward way, sort of, if that makes any sense. The dynamics of Jupiter and the moon's orbit is pretty crazy when you really kind of break it down. And we only see 4 moons from Earth. But, you know, there's over 70 or more, 80 now.
Jupiter has 79, and then Saturn has 82.
Yeah, and they keep finding new ones, which is great, man.
Well, they will continue for sure.
Oh yeah, and I bet, you know, as James Webb comes online in the future,
oh, God, I can't wait for that.
I bet we find even more. Can you imagine what Saturn looks like might look like in infrared, or Uranus or Neptune even with the Webb? Man, I can't even imagine. It's just going to be.
So people think that Webb's only going to look like out deep, and a friend of mine is an astrochemist. I always think about like astrodynamicist and astrophysicist, but she's an astrochemist for that, and
cool.
She's incredible. But they're actually going to point James Webb at Mars.
Oh.
And that's going to be amazing.
That'll be very interesting.
So actually, it's kind of funny that you mentioned Joe. Joe says, do any Jupiter moons have moons? There is the possibility of moons. Seriously. And by the way, that's what they're called.
Moons? That's funny.
That's the official name. Moons.
Well, it makes sense.
I guess. I mean, it's one of those things like there is no official name for Earth. I mean, Earth is the official name. But people think it's Gaia. And Gaia is a great name, but that's not the official name. There's a lot of things that we just kind of laugh about. I mean, why would you call Earth Earth when Earth is so little of it? I mean, it should be aqua or water. I mean, I like Terra, but Terra's not the official name. We can call ourselves Terrans. Yeah. But there's so many things that kind of bounce back and forth with that. It's a fun part.
Yeah, it's, you know, nomenclature, I think, is less important sometimes than actually just getting out and viewing, you know. If you want to call Jupiter Thor, you know, then...
The live ended somehow.
Oh.
It's weird.
It is weird.
So you're still live everywhere here. Why did it stop on my Facebook?
Maybe Facebook has said enough Ron Sparkman for one day.
Yeah, I mean, it might have killed it on my normal one, but...
Facebook is tired of us at this point. Actually, I'm excited to see what happens when this goes into the tree here in a few minutes.
Interesting.
To see...
Unable to connect.
Oh, really?
It might be because we're both on it.
I'm not on...
Right now? Are you still on yours?
On what, Restream?
Yep.
No. I logged out...
Interesting. See what happened there.
And I'm not logged in on this computer.
The AP connection has expired. So reconnects. Interesting.
Huh.
I mean, I know I'm paying for all of it because it's asking for everything.
Oh.
Every single page.
Really?
I mean, I paid, so y'all better get it together.
Man, it's just such a clear night right now. I mean, there's some puffy stuff coming in randomly, but wow. This is one of those kind of nights that you wish for sometimes.
Oh, we need to do that. I know what it is. We didn't click the continuous stream, as in you can go for 8 hours.
Oh.
We didn't expect to go this long. So that's why.
Gotcha.
So it's sending data everywhere now. Okay, well, now we know something.
Yeah, those mosquitoes are out. They know this is maybe their last chance.
That's right. A couple people were asking, said I don't think they could hear me too much, so if
Yeah.
they can, it's fine if you continue, but
This is
we'll see if they can or if they can't.
I see. I'm trying to get it a little closer, but this is basically as close as I can get right here.
Man, it looks good though.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, I think Facebook actually has better controls for this part of it, you know, because I can zoom in and get it to tighten up a little bit on Facebook. It's not the best, but there has been some streams on Facebook that I'm like, damn, I can't believe I was able to get that. That's insane.
And we also forgot to do this. We forgot to bring up the chat.
Yeah.
So we got a ton of comments already.
Already, really? Cool. Let me bring up Zoom here. There we go.
All right. Yeah, we got, there it goes. Everything's starting to go up again.
Okay, cool.
Back up to 21.
So we're kind of back.
Yeah, it was just, you just had to reconnect everything.
Yeah. And Jupiter is going to go into the tree in about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at the most. Jupiter will be in the one of the oaks in my backyard. But I was just telling Ron how beautifully clear it is tonight. Jupiter and Saturn are low. That's the reason why we're getting a lot of wiggle. So
that's good.
Yeah.
The longer this goes, though, the more you can see as they move. What again?
Oh, we lost it again?
No, I think it's the original one. It was just the
Oh.
It was the break. Oh, that's what it was. It finally finished the one that finished, and we're starting over. What was that?
Man, there's the bars are letting out, so like people are going nuts so out here.
Your bars are open?
Yeah, well, no, but yeah, there's people serving alcohol for sure. I can hear the karaoke in random spots, you know what I mean? Like I can hear it in the distance and
I'm sorry. Karaoke.
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 That's actually what it's supposed to say.
Karaoke.
Oh, there we go. We got some comments coming in.
Cool.
Comment said, "Oh, great show on Jupiter using your binoculars to the limit today. Not binoculars, phone, but
yeah."
Jared said Jupiter's looking good.
Cool, Jared. Thanks.
Agree.
You know, we're just playing around with this software to see what it's capable of. You know, I mean, there's so much out there that we're just at this point we're seeing what's going to work best for, you know, the moon or this or that or the other thing. So here goes Jupiter into the tree, so we'll be able to tell. Hopefully we'll be able to see if maybe some surface detail comes out. But then, you know, then again, it might not. I'll have to do more testing. You know, this is my first time to see Jupiter basically this year.
Yeah.
At least with the telescope for sure. When I looked in it with the eyepiece, I was very happy with what I saw. But you can see the image starting to really get distorted now, huh?
Let's see what it looks like here. Are we back live?
Mosquitoes are back live, that's for sure.
For real. It looks like we still have a bunch of people on Deep Sky Dude, though.
Oh, cool.
19 going up. And Deep Sky Dude on YouTube is going up, too. We're at like 6+. So.
Oh, cool. Welcome to...
watch, and then we can play around with this and figure stuff out, but yeah.
Yeah, welcome all you peeps, all you cool cats and kittens out there.
Weird.
Oh, look, it's really getting... Yeah, see, so we're in the tree now. This was Jupiter, but now it's in an oak tree. So what we're going to do is we're going to go straight to Saturn. Let's just go. Let me turn that up.
Oh, you can get Saturn, too?
Oh, yeah, we're going to go for Saturn.
Oh, nice.
Because it's right here. We might as well do a test
here.
here.
Right in, man. Killed it.
Okay.
It sounds like there's just something like whipping by you.
Well, it may be the mount.
Stacy, how's it going? You're back again. Nice to see. Mackenzie says, quick question I noticed. Kenzie, hit us. Abraham from Mexico is watching in.
Cool.
Muhammad said, zoom. We are trying to. Stacy says 19. Oh, people watching.
19 peeps. What's up, y'all? There's Saturn. Now let's get a better image here.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's going to be good.
Yeah, you know, hopefully this app can do something for us. I can already see the rings.
So how do we clear it up?
Yeah, that would be a white balance thing, and I'll see.
Figure out how to do that on the app.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do here. It's
Wait, that gets better.
It's all automatic, unfortunately.
That was better for a minute.
Let's just go crazy in and see if we can get it to blur it out and then give us an image.
Starting to.
You can definitely see the rings and the gap between the rings.
The fact is, though, that's Saturn. And
yeah.
Think about how far away that is.
Yeah. 800 million miles, so almost 1 billion miles.
Oh, it's there, man. I don't care how crazy that looks. It's the fact that we have that. That's it. That's the image.
Yeah, you can tell that's Saturn. And again, it's low on the horizon. It's maybe, I'm measuring it out with my hand. It's maybe 28 degrees.
Sorry.
Yeah, let me zoom back out a little bit here. It's maybe 28. Oh, that's actually not a bad image. I mean, you can see Titan off to the left. I'm assuming that's Titan.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
It's usually the most brightest. I can actually make out a couple of different moons here, sort of in the smattering of light. There's a couple of bright spots, right?
So we got a couple questions. 8M says, hey, can you drop the exposure slightly? We're trying to figure this out. Everything we're doing tonight is totally new.
Yeah.
There's a new app on Will's phone. We're going to work on this. It's going to be better. Kenzie says, sorry I pressed in too quickly. I noticed when I looked through the eyepiece, you can clearly tell it's Jupiter, but when I take a picture, it's not clear, similar as this was. I recently got a camera attachment for stability. Should I be able to end up getting clear-cut images at that point? Usually just looks like a glorified star.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can, and you will, and Will be the guy to go to for that.
Yeah, so, Kenzie, what you really want to do is, like what I'm trying to do here with this app. You see, I've got Saturn. Okay, we're cool. We've got the object in here, and we know what we're looking at. But now you've got to get the camera or whatever software to darken up enough to where you're not blowing the image out. Because basically what happens is as I zoom in, it's still the same brightness, right? We need to knock this down, and I could probably put my hand in front of it and see that knocks it down a little bit. And you can actually see the Cassini division when I do that. Y'all see that? The band in the rings, inside the rings, it's like a dark band going all the way around. I know it's blurry and kind of weird, but it's there. The Cassini division is very visible right now. Basically, you're going to want to use pretty high power on planets if you're going to do iPhone type stuff, and you just want to be able to knock that power down. Sometimes you can use filters. I'm going to probably invest in some filters coming up, some polarizing filters that might help us darken the image down. The ones that I have now are total garbage, and if we put them on, they would darken the image and distort the image. So they're going to darken it for us, but they're going to make it look twice as worse. And I can promise you, because I've tried this, as the image looks now. So it's kind of a win-lose kind of. Yeah, but you can definitely tell that that's Saturn, you know, and it's a beautiful planet. And I think photographing it with the iPhone is very difficult. But just like any planetary photographer, no one goes out and takes stills of the planet, right? You want to take video, and from that video you want to pull the frames that are good, and there's software that'll do that for you. You just run the software, or you run the video into the software, you like open it in there, and basically it takes the good frames and keeps them. It takes the bad frames and throws them away. So you do like a 30-40 second movie, or maybe a 2-minute long movie, and then it takes the best frames of those images and stacks them all together and does some magic inside the app. And now you have a sharper image that you could ever get on your own just by trying to do what's called lucky imaging. Because we're looking through the sky, obviously, but the sky is filled with atmosphere and horrible things that are distorting the light. That's why the stars twinkle, because the atmosphere is very disturbed. And so what you have to do is try to remove that in images, or you get what we're basically getting here. This is raw, this is live, this is Saturn, baby. It's in the sky right now, you know, and that's basically what you get. So it's what you do is you take those movies, you put them in those softwares, and those softwares take the best and worst frames, separate them out, and stack them up for you.
About the chat? See chat, maybe.
This is a chat.
See chat.
We're just doing a test, y'all, and the fact that y'all are hanging out with us is so much fun. Hey,
That's
Stacy.
awesome.
Hey.
Humana, where are you at and which location? Also, by the way, drop all the comments. Let us know where you're at, what you're doing,
Yeah.
where you're from. Glad to have you in tonight.
Absolutely.
Dusty, I see you're in again, man. Started at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
3 a.m., man. You're awesome.
Burning the midnight oil with us.
Dusty, email me, man. Stardomspace@gmail.com. I mentioned that I'd love to share your stuff on Stardom, man. I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you.
Yeah. Good to have you guys with us, man. We're just messing around, you know, some dudes with some scopage and some clear skyage. And actually, Sagittarius and all that is up now, and I can actually kind of see the Milky Way even from my light polluted town. Toward the core, where it's thickest, it's actually clear enough to where I can see a faint ghostly hint. It's pretty cool. We're just checking out Saturn in the telescope, and you know, what a beautiful planet. Even as distorted as it is an image, because it's low on the horizon and we haven't quite figured out how to get the white balance correct on here yet, but that may not be possible. I don't know. We're gonna have to play. We're gonna have to do more.
Great comments here. Osvalda says it's still amazing you can see something that far. Kenzie, yes, that makes sense. Thank you. I'm using my iPhone currently, and the light is the struggle to get that focus.
Yeah.
Jared said really cool. Stacy, you guys are doing a beautiful thing. Dustin,
Thank
you. Sounds good, man. Camera just died, so I'm putting my gear away.
Uh-huh.
Send me stuff and things, man. Saeed? Or maybe we can each red, green, blue filter and make each 30-second video run the software and combine each of them together to make a whole image. Yes, we can put all that together. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do those color filters like that if you have a monochrome camera. RGB, right? That's the colors that make up everything, and it's just a blending of those colors that make up every color you see, right? In a general sense. So if you have a monochrome camera, you definitely want to take those pictures through the blue filters, the red filters, and that sort of thing. And then you combine, after you get those movies with the bad frames out, the good frames in and stacked, you take those and you stack those on top of each other, and now you have a beautiful color image. But what we're doing here is with an iPhone, it's a color image already. So you don't have to do that. I don't know if that would bring anything out, but it might. If I had like an IR cut filter, or maybe some kind of polarizing filter, or a neutral density. That's what I would want for this to kind of bring out a little bit more in Saturn. So again, I'm going to start looking into some of those. Again, normally if we're going to stream planets, we're going to do it in a better way with some better gear in the future that I'm going to work on getting. So this is just a test. It's only a test. That's all it is. So. Hey Sherry, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Osvaldo. It's Saturn, right? No mistaking it. Let's see what that little moon down into the left is. I can consult the Book of Armaments here. A mosquito just flew into my face. No regard, these mosquitoes, for anyone else but themselves. Okay, let's see here. Oh, wow, lots of moons out tonight.
Oh, there we go. possible. Maybe. Sherry says, I don't know what the blacked out eyes are, and then thumbs up, and she says, awesomeness. There's a beautiful shot right there. Yeah, man, we're getting in there more and more. Thanks to you.
Oh, look at that. It's actually, is it going? Oh, it's a cloud. Haha, I told you.
Oh, it's a cloud.
It's a cloud. Look at how it comes out. That's ridiculous. You can see individual.
So good.
Maybe it'll get some, well, there's definitely some clouds coming at us here. So yeah, this proves my point that, if you can darken that image up, you will catch surface detail. But the problem is the filter thing. So the filter, I'll tell you a little story about the filters I have. There's two pieces of glass, and that's how they work. They're polarized to they're 180 degrees out of phase. So when you turn them, they get darker up to a point, and then they get brighter again. It's because they're polarized, so they're letting in certain amounts of light, and then as you turn them, they're letting in less. The problem is there's two pieces of glass in there. So what neutral density filters, the good thing about those is there's only one piece of glass in those. And that doesn't distort the image nearly as much as the double polarized lenses. So it's almost better to go ahead and spend a little bit extra money and with like 3 or 4 neutral density filters than one variable polarizing filter. Think you're going to get away with it. Now, visually with your eye, it doesn't really matter. That's one point to note in this. Your eye can see around a lot of this. If you were to put your eye up to the telescope right now, you'd see surface detail on Saturn because your eye could adjust and you could narrow your focus down. Whereas with the camera, we're kind of limited by what it can do, right? But not too bad. Titan off to the left. That's that bright star looking thing off to the left there. And Tethys is actually the name of the moon that's down and to the right that's been coming and going. Oh, look, we might get some... Let's zoom out a little bit so we can catch maybe a little bit of tightness in that. Yeah. Look at that. It looks fake, It looks like a fake Saturn.
Orange. Gorgeous.
Yeah. Probably pull it right into here. That seems like a good happy medium right there. Man, it's just awesome. What a great night we've had, man. We started off with the moon. We did the moon for like 9 hours straight. And then, we had to try Jupiter and Saturn just to see how this software is going to work. And so far, not too bad, right?
Dude, killer. Oh, it's so good. It's not the greatest.
No.
That it could have been, but I mean, this is still. Whenever we were looking through, we were doing Instagram. It was somewhere close to this. I mean, it was like we could change the lighting and like you could see the bands and you could see the red spot.
Yeah.
The fact is that the longer we go with this, you are seeing what changed the world with Jupiter. You're seeing Saturn, the thing that changes people's minds about, wow, this is it, man. This is what astronomy really is.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Galileo, when he looked at Saturn and Jupiter, he noticed that Saturn had ears. He kind of drew a little he drew a doodle of it, And we now know that those ears are rings. And he noted that Jupiter had those 4 moons. That's why we call those moons the Galilean moons, So if anybody asks you what are the Galilean moons, well, you know that now that those are the moons of Jupiter, and there's 4 of them. He knew Saturn. I think maybe even Galileo may have looked at Uranus, but I think Uranus was later discovered by William Herschel, I think, or somebody. I may be crossing my wires there, but I know William Herschel maybe discovered Neptune for sure, one of those outer planets. So a lot of those weren't even really known. There was known about Saturn. It was known about Jupiter because they're bright and naked eye. Well, Neptune and Uranus aren't always naked eye, so they weren't found until later. I say later, that was hundreds of years ago, but y'all get what I'm saying. We still got a few more minutes with Saturn, and it'll go behind the tree, and that'll be all she wrote. But hey, it's been a great test, I think. A great test of what is possible. As we get better equipment, though, this, you know, we're gonna be doing more than our fair share of tests for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, look at that planet, man. That is just 800 million miles away.
Let's look back at all this. All the people that are jumping in here. It's a beautiful shot right there, bucking down here in New Zealand. So can't say anything tonight. AJ, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Only Galileo watching Saturn for the first time, saying if we could look back, I can only imagine like what he saw and what that meant to him.
The
Jeremy
mystery,
said Saturn
yeah.
Awesome. Imagine being Galileo back in the 1600s, seeing Saturn for the first time, and everyone's saying this probably would blow his mind if he actually knew it was rings around the planet.
Yeah.
As Valdo said, Alderon, hysterical. Indeed, that's beautiful. Sherry said, I've never seen this before. Thank you so much for sharing this.
Awesome.
That's what matters.
That's
it's not,
yep.
It's not the view that we would want to share, and we're going to make it clearer and we're going to make it better. But the fact is that, again, on Twitch, there's a lot of people that are doing live streaming stuff, but it's so much clearer. But the fact is that this is dynamic.
Yeah.
This is from a phone through an actual, like a telescope. It's not through a telescope that we can clear stuff up. That it's next level stuff like what our friends do, like what SLU does. Like there is no interference when you see it because it's in an observatory in the Canary Islands.
Yeah.
And it's yeah, and it's like it's uber clear, right? And
yeah.
That's going to be a big thing too as we talk to them about like all the things we're going to be working on. Is that we need these dynamic views. We need it to not be so perfect because when it looks that perfect, it's just like okay, you took a picture.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is consumer grade.
We have to be able to share this.
No, absolutely. Yeah, and this is consumer grade telescope equipment, man. I mean, anybody can get this equipment, and everybody has a smartphone basically these days, you know. And this is how we're doing it, and this is what you can expect to see. But man, I'll tell you, these iPhones do some amazing work on the planets. If you get a good clear night and everything's working, it's amazing. Stacy says 42 souls watching. Nice. Why or how does the planets glow like that? I mean, how do we see it from Earth? Just asking. Well, Dee Dee, the sun is shining its light all the way out into the deep solar system. So the sunlight is bouncing off of Saturn and coming back at us. So that is sunlight, just like the reason the moon glows. The moon glows because the sunlight is hitting it. Kinsey says, I appreciate all these videos because we've been constantly covered in clouds and rain lately. I know that feeling. Seeing it in person is the best, but this is better than nothing and helps me keep up on the skies. Well, awesome, Kinsey. That's great. Zach Bowman. I know that guy. Dude, I'm up partying harder than I've a long time and feeling like a garbage human, and getting to catch your stream at 4 a.m. washes the regret away. That's so eloquently put, Zach. Love you, brother.
Let me throw something out there real quick, Zach. It's fine, man. I mean, everything that's going on right now is crazy. It's okay to do that, man. Take the time. Everything is okay. It's all right to like have a good time, man. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't be crazy. Don't get yourself in a bad situation, but also don't feel like you're a garbage human for something that. We all look at this, man. So many of us think that we are, so many of us have this imposter syndrome. I have it all the time and do amazing things. People constantly ask me to do awesome stuff. And I know I'm not saying that Will has that, but.
Oh, I definitely do.
Yeah, well, I mean, but we all do. And that's the whole thing is that I shared something with one of my friends, Neil Gaiman. We all love Neil. Neil's an incredible, orator, writer, video. He's just incredible, and he has TV shows. He's everywhere. And he was at an event where he's just running around and says, I met this guy, and we're talking. He shares my name, and we're at this huge event where I'm feeling out of place. I'm feeling this whole thing that I shouldn't be involved in this huge event.
Yeah.
And while I sit and talk to this guy, he says, I don't know why anyone here would want me to be here. All I did was do what they told me to do. I went where they told me to go. He was talking to Neil Armstrong. Everyone feels that. And
Wow.
the best thing is that if you really truly feel imposter syndrome, that's the best part about you.
Yeah.
It makes you, it keeps you humble in a great way.
Yeah.
It keeps you working hard and enjoying your life and enjoying everything you do. And it keeps you a half step ahead. But I mean, Neil was a guy, just like Neil deGrasse Tyson is a guy.
Yeah.
He's a really, really great human being, man. There's everyone's out there. All of you are fine. Go kick ass. Go take names. Heard the moon's fake. The government put the moon up in the sky like the flashlight that caused Batman. Sonya, wonderful. That was funny. But seriously, Zach, man, we all love you, man. We're night people, musicians, bartenders, even astronomers. The job of the night people is to take the day's people's money. Zach.
I like that.
You are more than welcome to add me, Ron Sparkman, on Facebook. Hit me up, man. Talk to me. I totally get that, man. I've been there and done that for 2 decades. Would be glad to talk to you.
Yeah, Zach is really cool, man. He runs A to Z podcast.
Really?
Down here in Beaumont, yeah. And
Nice.
Those guys are killing it, man. They've created this whole culture of podcasting in Beaumont. And there's like multiple people broadcasting different shows, different vibes. And they're all kind of using their little recording studio in Beaumont. And it's become a culture and a community, you know. And it's really cool. Zach and his buddy Aaron, they run A to Z, you know, get it, A to Z, Aaron and Zach. And they've had me on a couple of times, man. I'm like one of their repeat customers on the podcast, and it's been really cool, man. They've been really good to me. They've helped share the music and stuff, so lots of love for those guys for sure.
Same, Zach. Get a hold of me, man. I'll gladly come on your show and talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Help put out what you're doing, man. I'm glad to do it.
Yeah, you definitely got to get Ron on the show, Aaron. That'd be fun. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing Saturn right now.
To the point now, man. Like my schedule's so kind of crazy that I'm kind of getting to the point that I have to. But no, I mean I'm kind of the same too. But all I was saying was I'm also the same. I'll say a lot of self-deprecation and say a bunch of stuff, but that doesn't mean that I'll tell people that I'm very okay with everything that's going on, and things that are happening right now are great. But that doesn't mean that once all this is over and I turn the lights off, turn the camera off, and everything's been amazing all day.
Yeah.
Later, I mean, like everything is amazing, and then 2 hours goes by, 3 hours goes by, and I'm like, you know what? I missed this, I missed that. So, yeah, just that point. But still, would love to talk to you, man.
Yeah, we're losing Saturn into the tree, but as you can see, like every once in a while, it gets dark enough where we can really pick out some detail in it. Like, look at that. That's actually pretty darn good. But that's the tree doing what the software can't do for us anymore. Yeah, so close yet so far away here. Absolutely. Yeah, you can definitely see the rings. You know, we're gonna work on Saturn. This is just an iPhone app, y'all. We got way bigger fish to fry, I guarantee you that. We're gonna have some stunning views for y'all coming up. It's just a matter of time. I gotta build an observatory. Right where I'm at right now, there's gonna be an observatory built. So I basically gotta figure out what I need and how to build it, and that's the fun part. Stacy says, "We love you, Saturn." I love you, Saturn. We all do. It's unfortunate that the tree is there. I could go cut it down real quick if y'all wait.
We're just going to go and check that out real quick.
Yeah.
Seriously, guys. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to just go ahead and kick that down just real quick.
Just give me a bulldozer. I'll get this tree that they're in is an oak tree it has to be over 100 years old. This tree is 65 feet high, probably got a 3-foot radius, 3.5 foot radius. It's a big old tree. It's got some wisdom in it. But yeah, that is the diminishing Saturn view right there, unfortunately. But hey, this was only a test, y'all. This is only a test of the emergency Saturn broadcast system. Yeah, the moon broadcast system.
That's what the channel should be called. The moon broadcast system.
That's true, though. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's got a nice, and we could do like a CBS logo, but with MBS.
Oh, we can play around with that a lot. Tons and tons.
The mosquitoes have resorted to trying to eat my computer, so.
Oh, we got a ton of comments again. Zach says, hell yeah. Yeah, seriously, dude. Hit me up. Oh, yes, you can see the rings. Whoa, we love you, Saturn, from Stacy. Wait, what is the software doing for the image? Not
much. Yeah,
How many moons does Saturn have? Saturn is now the top moon, king, queen, whatever.
Both.
82.
I said both. Yeah, well over 80 now.
Claire says, how many millions of miles away is Saturn?
800 or more. It's a little over 800 million miles away, which, as we know, is almost a billion. A billion. I can zoom in on the... This is literally Saturn's light through an entire tree. Not like a branch or two. We're deep in that tree, y'all. Y'all hear the roosters waking up? I mean, it is 4 a.m., so. We don't know yet, but maybe there are even suns with rings around. Well, so kinda, yeah. I mean, our sun has a kind of a ring, with the Kuiper belt, being way out there. And if you were far enough away and with enough resolution, you could probably make out the Kuiper belt. Kind of the Oort cloud thing where the Oort cloud clumps up around the ecliptic of the sun. So maybe, yeah. But I doubt many stars really have too good a rings because they have a tendency to blow that stuff away with the solar wind. Sherry says this was a great test. A double plus. Again, thank you. This was so awesome. Thank you, Sherry. You're awesome. We appreciate all you guys that have just found us randomly and decided to come hang out with a weird Saturn image. But we're having fun with it. We're gonna play with it and get some get some better views as time goes on. Now as summer comes on, where these objects are right now at 4 a.m., this will be 10 p.m. because every night from here on out, all the planets over here on this side are all going to start rising earlier and earlier. So Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto's up there, Neptune is over here, Venus and Mercury are on the other side of the sun, though. So that's why we can see them at night. When will Saturn be closest to Earth next time? I think that's coming up. I think we got an opposition in June or July, Dee Dee. I think is what I saw. June or July for Saturn's opposition. Stacy says we appreciate you guys too. Well, thank you, Stacy. Y'all are so kind. Thank you, Hiri. Hey guys, I have to crash. I'm sure the kids wake me up about 3 hours. Thanks, it's been fun. Ron, I'll email you tomorrow. Definitely have a good night, Dustin. Thanks for joining us, Dustin. Oh, look, we're getting some Saturn back. Kind of. Oh, look at that. When it gets real dark, Ron, look at that. It gets tight.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's still on it.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's not so bad. I mean, it's going in and out of those limbs at the edge right here. So we might actually get it back for a few minutes before we lose it again. So we'll keep it rolling for a second. We got some clouds rolling in too, which are acting as kind of a little bit of a filter here. Oh man, there it goes. Oh, there it is. Light that's 800 million miles away. That's pretty... That's weak light. As big as Saturn is, it's ridiculous that the light is that weak, but that's the way it is. Look at that. Zoom in a little bit. There we go. You can definitely see the lobes of the ear, the sort of the separation between the planet and the rings. People ask me all the time, what's the favorite planet? It has to be Saturn. I mean, Jupiter's cool, but, you know, even with a cloudy-ridden, tree-ridden, distorted image, Saturn just takes your breath away sometimes, you know? I've had adults, kids, you know, whoever, when they walk up to your scope, they gasp, you know, when they see Saturn. Because in the eyepiece, it's 50 times sharper than I could ever show you with any app or any phone or any camera. Your eyeball, when it's receiving the photons, man, there's just nothing like it. And Saturn is something special. If you guys haven't seen Saturn in a telescope with your own eye, I recommend it 1,000%, man. And it's gone, isn't it? It's there. But we're probably getting like 1 photon a second here. Or maybe no photons. There's a big old cloud on it. It's exceptionally clear tonight, besides the puffy stuff moving in off the Gulf.
Let me get back to the chat for you there.
There we go. Zach says it's ridiculous that you're even capable of live streaming this. Yeah, man, it is nuts. We are getting a lot of planet Earth in the way of Saturn right now. That's why you guys can't even see Saturn, because there's so much planet Earth in between us and Saturn. That oak tree is definitely a part of planet Earth, right? And so are the clouds. So there you go. Osvaldo says, beautiful planet, bad cars. Yeah, dude, y'all are hearing that? See, I block it out. I don't even hear these people anymore. I don't even hear them out here. Oh, there it is. There's Saturn. Let me readjust. This is dangerous when you can't see it and you start moving the telescope. It's dangerous because you can lose the object, and sometimes you may never get it again. That happens a lot when you're solar observing. If there's clouds, if you move this thing off the sun, or it gets off and there's clouds and you're trying to get it back, but you can't see it all the way, yeah, sometimes it's better to just give up. Because, you know, doing astronomy in the daytime, believe it or not, is actually really hard. Although it is definitely possible with solar stuff, but yeah. What's up, Marma? How you doing? Uva Jang Marma. That's the best I can do. It's Imagine, dude. Yeah. Imagine all the people.
Imagine if you can. There wouldn't be a Clinton.
No possessions.
And never mind.
Oh, Stacy says he's talking about Saturn in the car. Yeah, I forgot about those things. Those were a thing, weren't they? Okay, we're gonna get Saturn back here in a second.
Nice.
We're gonna have it for a few minutes, and then it'll get in the other side of the tree. And then when it does, we'll call it a morning. It's almost time for some morning coffee around here. I mean, it's 4:09 a.m. and 4:09. Here we are. 409 area code. There it is. We're starting to get definition again. If I can recenter it, there we go. I'll zoom in just for the fun of it. And then wind out of nowhere. From this angle, it kind of reminds me of a Subway sandwich or something. You can tell I'm just hungry. There's the focus right there. Not too bad for an iPhone. and a planet that's 800 million miles away. Oh yeah, it's definitely out of the limbs now. Zach says, not trying to bogart, but I'll re-ask as astronomers. I'm guessing daytime is immensely boring to you guys. From what y'all know about yourselves and your peers, do night owls become astronomers, or does astronomy turn y'all into night owls? It's a good question, Zach. I think for me, I've always felt, even as a kid, that I was a night owl. I don't know why. I just always wanted to stay up at night, and I hated going to bed early, you know, when your parents would make you. You know, and then as I got older and I got into astronomy, I think I felt justified. I was like, yeah, finally, okay. You know, something that I can do at night that, you know, justifies me doing whatever I'm doing here. So, you know, I think probably for some it's one way and for others it's the other. But for me, you know, I feel like I was kind of predestined to be a night owl just by the nature of I love the night, you know. And then, of course, one of my main obsessions in life involves doing what we're doing here, staying up till 4 a.m. sometimes. You know, I was up till dawn the other day filming that conjunction between, you know, Saturn and all this. And, you know, I mean, it's just, yeah, I think one kind of leads into the other maybe a little bit. Good morning, Stacy. How are you?
Space Ghost.
Space Ghost.
Space Ghost. Sorry.
Sock says, ooh, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, we're just doing a little...
It looks great. Man, we've been so lucky tonight, and we're like, oh, it's over. Wait, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, it's back. It's back. Yeah. Zach had another question. He says, also, compared to typical camera specs, shutter, aperture, ISO, how does a telescope compare? So I'm wondering how it's even possible to capture light from 800 million miles away. Well, yeah, so telescopes have big apertures, and that's the beautiful part about telescopes. Really, the shutter speed and the ISO, that's all up to the camera, whatever you're putting in. The telescope just has an aperture. It doesn't care. It has an aperture and a focal length, but it doesn't care what your shutter or ISO is. It's just a telescope, right? But the aperture is just the opening at the front of the telescope. So that tells you how much light you can take in. And then how much you're bending the light tells your focal length. The more you bend the light, the more it gets magnified. But the more you magnify light, the more you tend to distort it. That's why this image looks okay, and then if I were to go in, it just kind of becomes a bigger, mushy kind of thing, right? So, you know, but telescopes, if you want to take pictures of the night sky, that's the only real way to do it. You can do wide field and stuff, but wide field stuff is more, you know, based on the aperture of the lens you're using, you know, because even your DSLR lens has an aperture and a focal length, right? It's just a little bit shorter typically. James Webb will show us some amazing things as well, though. Absolutely. Harry says, do you believe in a creator? I don't, as everything has turned out to be a cycle. I believe the universe is a cycle too, but why is it there at all? So, Harry, I agree with you, and I think Feynman brings up a good point about the question of why is the universe. Why is the universe doesn't really matter, does it? It just matters kind of how the universe came to be, you know? So, I agree with you, though. I don't believe in a creator, but if people want to, that's great. Do that. I need to see the evidence, and I don't really kind of see it personally. That's just my personal opinion on that. But since it's 4 a.m. and you asked, hey, there you go. What's up, Paul from the UK? How you doing, brother? Thank you for hanging out. could still tell it's Saturn when you zoomed in like that. Yeah, Sherry, exactly. But yeah, but it's one of those things. It's like, you can tell, but it's like it's distorted a little bit. Yeah, this is a little off. Zach says, so it's basically just a lens. Yeah, exactly. But with physical magnification. Yeah, it's exactly, Zach. So every telescope, because of the way it bends the light and all this, because of the way the telescope bends the light, every telescope has what's called a prime focus. Okay? And prime focus means at some point, okay, imagine a magnifying glass when you're a kid out in the sun, burnt with the sun burning leaves, right? You're taking the power of the sun and you're focusing it down into a point on the leaf, and that's when the leaf ignites, right, or starts to smoke. That's the focal point. So if you're past the focal point at any, whether you're too close or you're too far away, you're not going to get all the energy collected back to a solid point. Because what you're literally doing is you're magnifying the sun into the leaf and basically putting a low-grade version of the sun on the leaf, because you're bringing it down to that kind of point. Let me zoom out a little bit here. We're losing Saturn to the clouds. But yeah, so that's focal length. If you take a magnifying glass and get it tight, that's your focal length. And this telescope is no different. This telescope is a refractor, so the lens is up front, just like a magnifying glass. And a magnifying glass is taking that light and honing it down to a mirror and then up into the eyepiece, which actually helps you to focus the image. But all telescopes have that prime focus, which is a long explanation, but yeah, there it is. Yeah, Hurry, maybe we're just a part of fractals, my man. Fractals on in forever and ever and ever. What's the little dot next to Saturn? That's Titan. Zach, good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Little dot there is Titan, which is, man, one of the most interesting moons in the solar system. Maybe even the universe. I don't know. Who knows what's out there, but for us, Titan is very interesting. But yeah, that's that little dot off to the left, just hanging out there. Sherry says, you are very good at explaining things. Well, thank you so much. That's a huge compliment, Sherry. You know, I'm kind of dumb, so I try to relate all these things to other things, and that's the way I kind of learn things. You know, it's all about, you know, being able to relate it to something else, I feel like. And that's the way I kind of try to give the information back, is to, you know, maybe, you know, here's how I think of it. And if it helps you, hopefully it does. And that's great that it does. So thank you. Sorry, guys, the clouds have rolled in here, unfortunately. Zach says, LOL, the leaf metaphor just made me understand focus in a different way, because focus is adjusting the concentration of light. Exactly. And if you're too far or too close, that light can't even get to a focus, because you'll never know what the image was, because it's not focused at the focal point. And all telescopes have a focal point. Isaac Newton was just such a genius to come up with the reflector telescope. I mean, good grief, it's such a backwards way to bend light off a mirror instead of through glass. You know, they probably thought he was crazy. They're like, dude, this is never going to work. Are you serious? Like, what's wrong with you? But dude, every research grade telescope in the world is a reflector, period. You hardly see any big refractors doing research. There are some big refractors doing research, but again, per capita, it's all about mirrors, baby. This is Saturn. Saturn. No life on Titan, but Europa. Well, we don't know if there's life on Europa either. Oh, there's life on Earth, and well, it's clouds on Earth, unfortunately. We got some big old clouds moving in, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Zach says, is it Saturn's moon? Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely. It looks far away. What moon in our solar system is the furthest away from its planet, I wonder? You know, that's a good question. I think it's Hyperion. But somebody may be able to Google and tell me I'm wrong. And I believe Hyperion is around either Neptune or Uranus. I'm not a planet expert, guys. In fact, they call me the deep sky dude, and I've only recently become a moon lover. I know way more about galaxies and nebulas and star clusters than I do about planets. But yeah, Hyperion, I think, and it's one of those planets. But some of them have really eccentric orbits. Like, we're talking orbits that take them way far away from their parent planet. Some of them, like Io and some of the others around Jupiter, have really tight orbits. I can't see Saturn naked eye, but I can see it in the phone every few seconds. It's hilarious. Yeah, we're checking out Saturn right now, Juliana. What's up, UK? Andrew Lloyd, how you doing? Hey, we got 100 messages with the Restream chat. All right. Congratulations, it says. Woohoo!
Oh, yeah. Killing it, man.
Yeah. Stacy says, so glad I found this. Ohio! That reminds me of the Drew Carey show.
OH.
Ohio! Juliana's Jag says, look at Jupiter. I could, but it's in a tree. I apologize for that tree. I don't know who put that tree here, but we're going to have a little chat with them, Ron and I. We might have to break their kneecaps or something. Whoever put that tree here. It was my great-great-great-grandpa, probably. Osvaldo says, what's conning first? Andromeda colliding with Earth or the Sun becoming a red giant? It's actually at the same time, Osvaldo. Pretty close at the same time. About 4.5 billion years, the Sun's going to run out of hydrogen and start doing bad things, getting bigger. And about the same time, Andromeda is going to be coalescing with the Milky Way. And then when that happens, we'll have Milkdromeda, essentially, after that. Also, also at the same time, we lose the moon. Because if you do the calculations, in about 4 or so billion years, the moon has moved away so far from us that it actually gets let go from our gravity. And wow, I got to give a shout out to my brother, Zach Bowman. A to Z just threw me $5 on Patreon. So cool, Zach. You guys are amazing, man. I really appreciate that.
So awesome to hear that, man. That's great.
Yeah, that's what that huge, horrible email noise was. It was like, I was like, what in the... Thank you, Zach. Damn. Those guys are awesome, man. Not only did they bring me on their show as one of their original guests, but they've just been really good to me and really supportive, and I really appreciate that. But as Zach says, elaborate on that. I just wonder what the limit of the gravitational pull, like there have been, like, have the be some moons on the verge of breaking free. Oh no, absolutely. And in fact, Zach, yeah, that's what's happening to the moon. So imagine the moon is moving away from the Earth at the same rate your fingernails grow. So eventually, if you extrapolate all that little bitty movement over the years, it actually adds up. And so eventually, for instance, solar eclipses won't happen anymore. The moon will be so far away it can't even obscure the whole disk of the sun. It'll be that far away, and then over time, eventually, yeah, it gently lets go of Earth's gravity. But it's a long time. It's about 4.5 billion years from now, apparently. Osvaldo says, I apologize for that tree. Milkdromeda. Yeah, that's what they call. That's what they're calling it. Well, what will happen when Andromeda collides with our own little Milky Way? The farthest moon, I think, is apogee. I think apogee is the term for when the moon is close to us. Or, I'm sorry, away from us. Apogee means away, and perigee means close. So I don't know. Maybe that's true. We don't have anything on the camera, do we, guys? I apologize. Look at that. There's a cloud. You can actually see the cloud in the telescope. That's just ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. Oh, but you know what's happening? Hold on a second, guys. Before we go, we'll get one last little something here, maybe. Give me one second. That's so funny. I can see the cloud actually moving past there. Oh, there's so many clouds, y'all. I could see Jupiter for a split second, and it was right at the top of the tree where there's no obstruction. But no mole. It is gone. It is gone with the wind. We'll leave it here for a second and see what happens. Yeah, let's see. No. We're pretty much a blanket over here now. It looks like everywhere around me has some cumulus buildup going on here. Well, that was a good run. But that's what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, I don't have anything in the camera. Can't see through we can see through a certain level of clouds, but not this level, unfortunately. Oh, there it is. Oh, wrong way. Oh. Oh, man. No. Well. And every time I get it in the viewfinder, it disappears in the clouds. Y'all hear those drag racers? That's on public roads they're doing that. I can't see Mars. There's trees and clouds between me and Mars, Juliana, unfortunately. When the moon is going to leave us, no life will be on Earth anymore. I bet you're right, Hiri. I bet you're right. I bet you're exactly right. Maybe Mercury will hit us. Eventually, Earth will be wandering a piece of rock forever. Wow. Yeah. You know, who knows? At the end there, who knows? Hey, take care, Hiri. Thanks for joining us. It was an excellent run. Thanks for Valdo says. Thank you, man. Jesse says, I just got here. Yeah, sorry about that, Jesse. Luckily, we do have the other broadcast that you can go back and watch if you want. The earlier stuff from tonight was a lot of fun. But you won't get to hang out with our lovely voices, unfortunately. Saturn is playing peekaboo. Yeah, it's playing peekaboo with the clouds, unfortunately. That's the way it goes. Daisy says, from now on, when people ask me what I do for fun, response will be listening to some guy talk about moons, planets, and Milkdromeda at 2 a.m. This is so cool. Thanks. That's awesome, Daisy. You're the best. That's so cool. You guys are awesome, man. Zach says, LOL, every time I join your streams, I feel like I just bogart them, but our friendship has been defined by endless feedback loop of you dropping knowledge that I have more questions about. Hey, man, bogart the whole stream, man. Who cares? You didn't bogart anything, man. There was plenty of people, getting in questions and thoughts around you, so you're good to go, Zach. You can bogart at any time, my friend. I love that term, by the way, bogart. It's hilarious. Racing to church, are they? Oh my God, you just made me wheeze way too loud at 4:30 in the morning here in Texas. What's up, Mike Ottoman? How you doing, man? We're looking at Jupiter and Saturn, but the clouds came. And now I don't know what we're doing. We're just filming the top of my tree over here. I don't think we're gonna get anything back, so I guess we may as well call it an evening on that, huh? Maybe I can, see, there's no way for me to, what I can do maybe, Hold on, let's try something here. Maybe I can... No, the only thing visible right now are clouds, Mike, unfortunately. Let's see if I can show y'all the setup. There's the computer right there, which is giving me some light. You can see the telescope. I think y'all can probably see that, huh? Sherry says, been a great night. Thank you guys. Stay safe. Have a good day. Daughter is at work, but can't wait to have her watch these replays. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is kind of the setup. I know it's kind of hard to see, but you can see kind of where the phone goes. It goes here by the eyepiece, and this Celestron mount kind of holds that to that, and the telescope just sort of points. Oh, look, and there's Jupiter coming out of the clouds right as I take the phone off. Y'all can see that though. You can see Saturn and Jupiter right next to each other. Look at there. Saturn on the left, Jupiter on the right. Very cool. Y'all can see the tree that I'm talking about. You see this monster? Look at this monster. It's ridiculous. And Jupiter and Saturn started over here. We filmed them going through here, and now they're basically up there. They're going to continue across the sky this way, because this is west for me. This is due south. So, man, I was going to put it back in there, but look, you see what happens? It's like, oh, let's go get it again. Oh, no, it's gone. You can see the mosquitoes flying around. Look at this, they're on my computer. Look at them, you see them searching? For some reason, they think my computer is edible. Look at that, y'all. If y'all ever thought I was joking, now you know I'm not. Look, he's trying to eat the trackpad. I don't even know what we're showing at this point, y'all. Well, hey, we'll call it a night there. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Hey, Ron, can you flip it back over to the comments real quick? And then we'll maybe we'll end it with a little bit of that action. Yeah, there we go. We'll just restream the comments here. All these people are awesome, man. Cut it down, Mike says. I can't do that, man. It's so old. What's up, Arthur Alien? Hey, we had an alien in the stream tonight, y'all. Look at that. Ah, he was hunting for UFOs. See, he's an alien. Saturn is playing with you. Yeah, look, it's just, man, it's horrible. Look at that. It's actually amazing that it's coming out that good. But that's how bad the light pollution is around here. I mean, the sky just glows. Yeah, good to have you, Mike. Glad you could join us. What's up, M. Jahay from the Philippines? Yeah, UFO hunter, nice. Well, good luck, man, you know. It's probably hard to shoot one down, though, if you're gonna really, like, hunt them. I wouldn't try to shoot one down, though. You might make them mad. Guys, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us, with me and Ron. Be sure to follow he and I on all the social medias. We do these streams whenever we can, you know. I mean, we throw the telescope together when the weather is clear, when it's not like this. Look at this, it's full. We're in Milkdromeda right now. Look at this. This is Milkdromeda. Mosquito just flew into my mouth. That is a regrettable thing. Such a horrible thing that happened to me just now. But yeah, you can see the sky is just not cooperating tonight. So we'll call it a night. I didn't know for sure, but it feels like Southeast Texas has very unique clouds. They haul. Yeah, they do haul. So the reason these haul, Zach, is they're real low. This is all cumulus from the Gulf coming in and kind of blowing in, because straight south right here is, you know, where the Gulf of Mexico is. And this stuff's kind of coming up, condensing as it comes in. This is low. If I had a green laser right now, I could show you that I could put the green laser on this cloud right here. These clouds are probably 2,000 feet, maybe 1,000 feet above the ground. So we got that going for us. Yeah, don't eat the mosquito. Saeed says, yeah, I'll try not to. It's horrible. Thanks, Jesse, for hanging out with us. Thanks, Arthur, for Arthur for hanging out. Backyard astronomy, absolutely, with mosquitoes. Now with flavor. It's ridiculous, man. Look at this. They're in love with my computer. Let's see if I can get one. Da, da. It's like whack-a-mole. Da, da. No. Now they're trying to attack me. Appreciate you guys. I have tried to track the ISS. I did it a couple of times. It actually worked, actually. Look what Ron put here. So definitely check it out. Stardom, patreon.com/stardom, patreon.com/deepskydude. We'd appreciate y'all joining up with us. And if you want to support our channels, that's the way you do it. And yeah, these things are huge. Yeah, they're the state bird, actually, in Texas, is the mosquito. Oh, I got him. Oh, gross. I didn't think that one through. I didn't think that one through at all. What a horrible decision that was. Oh, good, he's pulling himself off. Yeah, let me just go ahead and help you there, buddy. Get off. Oh, man, y'all are fun. Hey, we appreciate y'all. We're going to call it a night. Thank y'all so much for your support, for the fun conversation we had tonight. Don't forget to follow Mr. Ron Sparkman there, getting eaten by mosquitoes. His avatar is getting eaten by mosquitoes. It's ridiculous. Follow me at Deep Sky Dude. Follow Ron at Stardom Space. We'd love to have y'all. Thank y'all so much. We'll be back with another live stream, maybe tomorrow on the moon, depending on how the weather works. So y'all have a safe Sunday. Have a happy weekend, guys. We'll check y'all on the flip side. Look at these mosquitoes.